Why is the rum always gone? Okay, here we go again. Not Mamma Mia. Here we go again. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. I'm joined today by Jack McCullough on this very late evening, where we sit down and watch the longest Pirates of the Caribbean movie thus far. At 2 hours, 48 minutes, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, the third movie in the franchise, directed by Gore Verbinski, released 12 years ago in 2007, starring all the usual cast. So, yeah, as usual, non-profit commentary, just doing this for fun. If you want to join us, then put your DVD Blu-ray in, put it to 0, and when we press play, you press play. You get the idea. This is just for fun. We're not doing this for financial gain. Yeah. Anything else, Jack, you want to add before we begin?
Yo ho, a pirate for me.
And that's a good way to start. Okay, do you want to do the countdown?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Fire the cannons!
Okay. We open with the little Disney logo again. You know, funny, that was introduced in Pirates 2 only a year before this. Because obviously the third and the second and third movie were made back to back. So they were shot entirely back to back. And Disney decided to stick this new intro in front of the second film, Dead Man's Chest. And it's been around ever since then. They still used it today, actually, even in the fourth and the fifth movies as well. So, yeah, good old Jerry Bruckheimer and his lightning effects.
Yeah. I mean, God's sake, it was 12 years ago, but I have fond memories of this film. And I say that we open with quite a dark scene, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is quite dark. I mean, to be fair, it's not like the other two before this weren't exactly light. I mean, maybe the first one, but even the first one had its dark moments. But Dead Man's Chest definitely was a lot darker.
Yeah. I mean, I think At World's End is the most underrated of the pirate sequels. I mean, a lot of people shit on it, and I can understand if they find it too long, but I've always really enjoyed it. I mean, I remember when I first saw it, actually, it was my favorite of the Pirates films when I first saw it. I mean, obviously my opinion has changed, but I still really enjoy it as a sequel.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I kind of like the fact that this is a darker opening because we see the effect of Beckett and the East India Trading Company since the events of Dead Man's Chest. Obviously, because Dead Man's Chest, Beckett and the East India Trading Company invaded Port Royal. So now he's basically just, you know, exploiting the people that are living there and obviously killing them for crimes that they didn't commit, which is it's horrible, really. I mean, it is a bit, maybe it's a bit odd for a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, but I thought this opening was really haunting, with the boy singing the song and turning the coin. It's quite a haunting song, Hoist the Colours. I mean, would you agree?
Yeah, I agree, and I mean, even though it is a dark opening, I still think it's a good opening. I mean, it's a powerful way to open the film. Like, you know, I like the shot of the noose, and I mean, and it's a well done scene. I mean, like when they were taking away the bodies with like the clothes and all that, it kind of reminded me of something of like the Holocaust, where the Nazis would take away the dead bodies and stuff and the clothes. I mean, it kind of shows how. I mean, it also just shows how much of a bastard Beckett is as a character. And I think Beckett, you know, for me, he's one of the best Pirates of the Caribbean villains. Because, I mean, Tom Hollander just gives a really sinister, calm, but evil performance as Beckett. And, you know, and for me, he's definitely, like, next there to, you know, Barbossa's being one of my favorite villains. And yeah, and this is a powerful way to open the film, like them all singing the song before they're about to die. I mean, you know, it does, you know, it does get you into sort of like feeling that, you know, stuff's gonna go down in this film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a rally call. I mean, this movie is more of an epic. They've gone away from the kind of swashbuckling adventure. This is a dark, gritty, epic final. Well, essentially a finale. Well, of sorts. And I love that line that he says, "Finally," you know, because Beckett wants to rid the world of piracy, so he wants them to fight back, so he can actually, with the Armada, destroy the pirates. I think this is a great film.
Yeah, I like that shot of the coin there. I agree, and I think I love the yeah, that's a brilliant shot of the coin, and I really do like the attention to detail. And yeah, I mean, I think Beckett is just such a. For me, he is not only is he the best Pirates of the Caribbean, one of the best Pirates of the Caribbean villains, but for me, he's just a great villain in general. Just because Tom Hollander is just so good that I play this really just sinister, creepy guy. You know that he's so calm and like sinister and evil at the same time. That's what I love about Beckett. You know, he's just like, you know, I mean, he doesn't overdo it. He doesn't, you know, he doesn't go over the top or like scream his lungs out or like, oh, I'm the bad guy. Ha ha ha. You know, he's just, you know, this guy who's just, you know, that he wants to rid piracy from the world, and he's just, you know, he's vindictive. He'll do anything he can to get, you know, what he wants. Like, you know, with Elizabeth in the second film and stuff.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of Elizabeth, I think they kind of ruined the opening song by having her sing it here. It just makes the whole thing feel anticlimactic with her singing it just now in such a, you know, passing way. You know, she's just kind of singing it for no reason. So yeah, it's just, I felt it kind of ruined the power of the opening that we just saw. But it's interesting how this film literally picks up right from Dead Man's Chest, where that ended. So if this was the first Pirates movie you'd see, you'd be very confused.
I really like the locations of this film as well, like them going to China and stuff and all that. But that's one thing I will really say that I like about At World's End is that it really does feel like they go on a big journey, like a big quest in this film. Like, I mean, they go to all these different locations, and it just makes it feel more epic. Like, you know.
And we get the reintroduction of Jeffrey Rush as Barbossa. But in this movie, he's a good guy. Woo!
Yeah. I mean, I think he's good as the good guy and the bad guy. I mean, he kind of plays the anti-hero. But yeah.
It's weird because Barbossa he's kind of the everyman pirate. He's a good, then he's bad, but then he's also his own man. You know, he takes sides, but then he also doesn't. It's really weird. Like in the later films, in films 4 and 5, he kind of just becomes his own person. But yeah, it's strange. But I like that they brought him back for the third film, and obviously the reason behind it coming back to life is explained later on. But still, and I like the way the crew are introduced here. How they're swimming in the water.
It's kind of like this scene kind of reminds me a bit of Apocalypse Now, where like Martin Sheen's character's head comes out of the water. Like, yeah, I mean, you kind of get the feel out.
Do you think Gore Verbinski actually saw that and thought, "Oh, I'll use that in the Pirates film"?
Yeah, probably. Actually, I mean, he does actually reference a few movies in this film. Like, there's a reference later when they're on the beach, and they play like there's a bit of music by Hans Zimmer when they're on the beach walking, and it's a reference to, I think, the Dollars trilogy, or like A Fistful of Dollars, or I think it's Once Upon a Time in the West. Like, just the music that they play and that scene, I think it's a reference to that, because I mean, yeah, because I mean Johnny Depp also did Rango as well, which is Gore Verbinski, and that's just one big fan film to the Clint Eastwood Western films.
Yeah, that was a good film, Rango. And funny enough, that was released in the same year as On Stranger Tides, the fourth Pirates movie. And Gore Verbinski couldn't direct it because he was doing Rango with Johnny Depp. But yeah, so hence why they got Rob Marshall to direct the next film. So this is Gore Verbinski's last Pirates film. But I mean, in a way, I'm actually kind of glad that he finished up with a trilogy, and we got different directors for the next two.
Yeah.
This is quite funny.
Yeah, I agree.
Remove, please.
Like I said, I have to say, Keira Knightley though, woo!
Oh, she's sexy. I love the reaction from Jeffrey Rush. He goes,
She's armed to the teeth.
it's amazing how she could carry all that, because she herself, she's not very like muscly or heavy. She's quite skinny, so amazing how she could carry all that weight, really.
Like the way she does that, pulls the gun out of her back or whatever. That's kind of like a Jack mannerism, like just the way she does. You know, yeah.
It's weird. This film, we don't see Jack Sparrow for 35 minutes, but never fear when a long runtime is here.
Oh, he's asking her to remove everything.
Pervert.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to see that?
Yeah. In a way, do you think they've sort of made Singapore look kind of like, I don't know, like they've made it look kind of ugly. In the bathhouse, they've made everybody look kind of disgusting and just not nice. Ugh. There's that guy with the barnacles. Like, it doesn't look very exotic.
Yeah. Like, why does he have barnacles on his face? I mean, is he part of the Davy Jones gang or something? I don't get that. How could they be in his face? But yeah.
I don't know. Oh yeah, Chow Yun-fat as the most wasted character in this movie, Captain Saya Feng.
Yeah. Saying that though, I still think his character's cool. Like,
oh, I love his character, but he's wasted. I mean, essentially, he is a plot device. They use him to get the charts, but you know, I really wished he had more screen time, because we see him in this first act of the movie, then he disappears for another like half an hour, which is a shame, and then they kill him off, which is another shame. Oh, why did he have to die? We didn't need to make Keira Knightley the king of pirates. We didn't need to do that.
Yeah. I mean, and not only that, but I kind of agree with Mark Kermode. Like, I couldn't buy her as the king of pirates. Like, you know what he's like? Everyone's like, yar, yar. She's like, oh, like, yar. Well, that's so funny. This rant.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised they're being so civilized. I mean, they're pirates. You think that Barbossa and the crew would just go in and steal the charts? I mean, it's not like all pirates trust each other.
Well, I think the reason why he went there, though, I mean, to be honest, if he tried to rob them, he'd probably be killed, because there's so many of them and there's only a small amount of them. And not only that, but they're in China and they're white pirates. I mean, they stick out like a sore thumb, like they couldn't sneak in.
That's true. Actually, speaking of that, didn't Will try and sneak in? Apparently, they wanted Will to get the charts or something like that.
I mean, I think it's great that we have Barbossa back in this film. I mean, I know he died at the end of the first film, so you weren't expecting to see him in the second film. But I mean, Jeffrey Rush is my favorite character in the Pirates series, so it's, you know, Barbossa's my favorite character, so it's nice to bring him back for this film and have him for the whole of it.
It's funny how Elizabeth now in this film is regretting what she did when she left Jack to the Kraken. Yeah, and Will finally actually starts to, you know, he's like, oh, you left Jack to the Kraken. Whereas, you know, in the second film when they kiss, Jack and Elizabeth, Will doesn't even look angry. He just looks, you know, as Mark Kermode said, he just doesn't act. You know, he doesn't really react. Whereas in this film, it takes him till this film to actually get pissed off about it. I find that inconsistent.
Yeah, a bit of a delayed reaction. Will must be a bit thick.
He's just a pretty boy.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I will say about Dead Man's Chest that kind of annoyed me as well was, it's just, I mean, Elizabeth was just a complete bitch in the second film. I mean, like the way she sacrificed Jack to the Kraken and she's like, I'm not sorry. It's like, you should be, you fucking bitch, you know?
Yeah, well, so much for, if it wasn't for those bars, I'd have you already. So much for that.
Yeah.
It is true. It seems the only way a pirate can turn profit anyway
I love the visual look of this film as well. Like the look of China and all that is just really cool.
Yeah, I mean, even though Dead Man's Chest had darker lighting, I still feel like this film is actually darker in terms of the story. How about they're looking up Elizabeth's skirt? Would you say which film do you think is darker, Dead Man's Chest or this?
I'd probably say this one.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, even though the lighting in the second film is darker, but there's just more with this. There's just a lot more complications in the story. But for me, Dead Man's Chest still had a lot in it. But I know you're not a fan of that.
No, I can understand why you enjoy it. For me, like, a lot of it is just build up for this film, and that's why it's my least favorite. But I can understand if you really enjoy it, you know. Fair enough.
I mean, I enjoy all 5 movies, you know.
Yeah, I like all 5 of them as well. Like, even Dead Man's Chest, I still like it. You know, I don't think there's a shit one in the series. I mean, you know, like, if Dead Man's Chest is on TV, I'll watch it. You know, I'm not like, oh my god, fucking awful, turn it off. You know, I still like it. It's just my least favorite, but yeah.
Oh god, he really hates Jack. Everybody hates Jack.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the reason as well. The fact that they're not rescuing Jack because they technically want to. They're rescuing him because he's got an important piece of 8 that they need for to release Calypso. And you know, none of them actually kind of really want Jack to come back to come back to life. But still, yeah,
yeah.
Weapons.
I assure you, our intentions are strictly honorable. Drop your weapons, or I kill the man.
Kill the man.
Killing is not our aim. He's not with us. He will.
I actually really quite like this action sequence in Singapore.
Yeah. It's interesting that the British Navy get involved in Singapore. Well, suppose this is a time during the British Empire. I think they controlled parts of China. So
They may have done. I'm not exactly sure when this series of films is set. It's never really made very clear, actually.
I know Salazar's Revenge was set during the French Revolution because there's a guillotine in it. So set during the time of the French Revolution. So this must be before then. I don't know.
I mean, the whole series of 5 movies must span across 20, 25 years.
Yeah. I mean, he is old.
Yeah.
Because by the 5th one, he is older, you know.
Yeah. Great music by Hans Zimmer as well.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that this film really does well is the action. Even though we do have to wait a while to get to the action, like the big battle that comes at the end is so worth it. I mean, you can't say that they didn't try. I know people slag off to Dead Man's Chest and Outworld's End, but I think, you know, it's admirable with what they achieved, considering they shot these movies back to back.
Yeah. I mean, I think the look of it visually is great. I mean, I really don't understand why the sequels get hated on so much. I mean, only the first one really got good reviews, and the rest of them have just got pretty rubbish reviews. Like, I never understood that, you know.
Yeah. There's a lot more death in the 3rd movie.
Yeah.
I guess this is probably the darkest of the entire series.
Yeah, I agree with you, yeah.
I don't, in a way, in this film, Will is written to be a bit of a bastard. Kind of like in the second film, Elizabeth was a bitch. In this film, Will is double dealing everybody. He's crossing, you know, Elizabeth, Jack, you know, just because he wants to save his dad.
Yeah, isn't it weird? Like the first film, Jack is double dealing people. The second film, Elizabeth is, and then the third, it's Will. Like,
Yeah, but obviously, Xiao Feng doesn't stick to the deal anyway, so.
I love the monkey.
Ow! The parrot.
I think the action scenes in this are really great.
Oh yeah.
One thing I will say is, like, even though the Pirates film do use a lot of CGI, a lot of it's practical as well. Like that explosion and all that, and the sets and the you know the sword fights and all, or you know, practical effects.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and all the cannon fire as well. And like, yeah, all the spectacle is really, really impressive. I mean, that's what these movies are made for anyway. They're just made for fun and they're made for spectacle. But you know,
yeah,
they tell good stories.
Yeah, and actually, what's interesting at the time when at World's End was made, it was the most expensive film ever made until Pirates 4. But yeah,
funny that. It's weird. This film looks like it has more of a budget than the fourth movie, probably because this one is longer.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wonder if they just threw a double budget. At, you know, I don't know whether they pitched the idea of putting 2 and 3 to be made at the same time, or whether Disney said, you know, we'll give you double the budget if you can make the second and third at the same time. I'm not exactly sure how it worked, but I was happy with the result.
I mean, what's amazing is that World's End and On Stranger Tides are still the most expensive films ever made, and you could tell. I mean, you could tell they spent the budget with all the ships that they've built. These are actual ships, and you know, it's like it's impressive. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, there's CGI in the film, but a lot of these, like, you know, they built a lot of these ships to blow up and stuff, and you know, it's impressive. You know, what they're being able to do with the budget and stuff. You know, you can tell they spent the budget.
Well, I heard somewhere that Avatar is also one of the most expensive movies ever made. I mean, it has to be because of the technology involved in making it.
Yeah, but I think Pirates 4 still holds the record as the most expensive film ever made. So it's interesting.
And here we return to Cutler Beckett. Essentially, he's already achieved what he wants. All he wants to do is just, you know, get rid of the pirates. You know, then he'll have control of the seas.
He's just so sinister. Like, you know, he never raises his voice. Like, he always has that one sort of consistent tone and that, you know, look in his face. I mean, he is. I think for me, he is a great villain. Like, you know, and I love his death scene near the end of the film. Yeah.
Norrington has redeemed himself after he brought the heart of Davy Jones to Beckett. So he has restored his position. But obviously, he has a bit of a change of heart towards the middle of the film. I don't know why Bootstrap Bill kills him, though. It is a bit confusing as to why he actually kills him. And also, Governor Swan is barely in this film. He's in this scene, and then he gets killed off for no reason.
Yeah.
This film sometimes kind of messes its characters around a bit, but, you know...
Do you think Norrington killed Governor Swan? Because, like, you see the look at his face there, and he's got the sword out. Do you think he was maybe forced to kill him by Beckett? Because they never explain how.
Well, no, actually, no, because I mean that would have been interesting, but he didn't because he didn't know. When he sees Elizabeth, he says, "Oh, your father will be overjoyed to know you're safe," and she said, "My father's dead." He's like, "Oh, but he returned to England," and she's like, "Did Beckett tell you that?" So he didn't know, but it would have been really dramatic if he did have to kill him.
Yeah, maybe that would have been better, but yeah.
Yeah, because Governor Swan is sort of wasted in this. Some characters do just do nothing in this film, which is a shame.
Yeah, I like this stuff in like Antarctica or whatever it is, or the North Pole.
Yeah.
Like,
It is amazing.
I do like. Yeah, it doesn't make sense how they haven't died of frostbite. You know.
All this for Jack Sparrow.
I like the bit where. I like the bit where his toe snaps off. That's quite funny.
Oh.
God.
Oh God! Light a lantern, for God's sake! It's not difficult, you know. If you're that cold, you need the heat and the warmth. So just light loads of lanterns.
Not only that, but go below deck for fuck's sake. Don't go up on deck where it's snowing. You know.
Yeah, I mean they're on a steady course, so it's not like they couldn't have a quick warm up.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, she gets all the blankets.
I suppose they don't want the hottest one to become the coldest one.
Yeah. I like those two. They're hilarious.
Yeah. They're kind of like the R2-D2 and C-3PO of the Pirates films, like the comic relief characters.
I would pretty agree with that. Yeah. Great music.
Hans Zimmer always does a great score for Pirates. I mean, I think sometimes his scores are a bit repetitive, like Blade Runner, like the like, you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of that,
but it works
but
for Pirates
here
of the Caribbean.
Yeah, it works for Pirates. Yeah.
And I love that overhead shot of the boat, of the ship. I really like the shots and the angles used in this moment as we see it going into the kind of the cave or trench or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
This probably has one of the best soundtracks of the series, to be fair, at World's End.
Yeah.
It's amazing, actually, how we see Davy Jones in this film. He's kind of like losing control because Beckett is kind of overlording everything. In the second film, Davy Jones still had some control. He still had some authority, but now they're invading his ship as well. So it's interesting to see how the villains aren't essentially working together.
Yeah. You could say Beckett's more the main villain in this because he has control over Davy Jones. Like, Davy Jones is more the main villain of the second film. But, I mean, Davy Jones still gets a lot to do in this as well. But, yeah.
All those visual effects are just stunning.
Yeah.
Oh, and I actually really like his backstory. It's tragic, and it makes him sympathetic. I mean, you know, he's just heartbroken. Quite literally, he was heartbroken and shoved his heart in a chest.
Yeah.
And now he's just this bitter old angry sailor, you know. And you know, I love that the attention to detail when we see the tear come down from his eye.
The visual effects are really good for this film.
That's one thing.
Kind of angry that he cried. Well,
yeah. I think he just hates feeling like he is, you know, because he still loves Calypso, but you know, yeah.
I mean, like, I think Davy Jones is sympathetic, unlike, you know, Beckett, who's just a complete bastard. You know, just do anything to get his way.
He does spit a lot, doesn't he, Davy Jones?
Yeah.
Because it seems to be the only way to ensure that this ship is directed by the company.
This is the only time when Beckett raises his voice, really.
Yeah.
We need prison territory, which tends to work.
Dutchman say, as it Captain commands.
And it's Captain
Oh.
Oh.
I mean, it's weird that this is the first scene between these two.
This is no longer immaterial. Has become
Immaterial has become immaterial.
Immaterial. He is a real bastard. Like, you know, this is no longer your world, James. So he's basically telling him that you fucking do as I say. Well, you know.
Yeah, it's like, I'm in control of you now. I've got your heart. I could kill you at any moment. You know, and I think actually that's perfect. The way he's intimidating him, you know, bringing the heart on his ship and having, you know, the guards guarding it so they could shoot it at any time. So essentially, Davy Jones has got no other option, really.
Yeah. Wow, Holly Keira Knightley.
Yeah, what's she feeling sorry for? She essentially left Jack to die, so
Yeah. She's a bitch in the second film.
we rescue Jack.
I mean, if I was Jack, I would kick the shit out of Elizabeth. I would be like, hang her, you know, kill her for God's sake. You know, she let me die.
Yeah, you know, I don't blame Will for thinking that she has the hots for Jack, because she says, "Oh, when we rescue Jack, everything will be okay." When we rescue Jack, what does that mean? You know, does that mean you have any sort of feelings towards him, or like what? You know, what does that mean? That line does not make sense to me.
I mean, Johnny Depp is an attractive guy, and I'm surprised Elizabeth never, you know, sleeps with Jack or whatever. Because I mean, Johnny Depp is a handsome dude, but she's kind of, you know, disgusted by him. She thinks he's a pirate and he's you know.
Funny that moment just there with Tia Dalma or Calypso. Will finally realizes that she is Davy Jones's love, because she has the same locket, which is interesting. Which we didn't see in Dead Man's Chest, not from her anyway.
Yeah. I mean, Orlando Bloom kind of gets shit for the Pirates films, but I think he's all right. I mean, he's not amazing, but I don't think he's like god awful either. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom, they're a little bit wooden, but they don't give terrible performances.
Yeah. Let's be honest, they're only there because they're hot. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
ugh, creep. I thought they all call Elizabeth Poppet, yeah. Hello, Poppet.
hello, yeah. And the first one, Parlay, I invoked the act of Parlay.
And they tried to do that in this
Barbosa, like Barbosa and his disgusting fingernails. Like, does he ever wash? No.
Yeah, clearly not.
He's like black fingernails. Ugh. It's got like Davros hands.
So you know what? Technically, they all die.
Yeah, I don't know how they could survive that.
Yeah, they all died and they ended up in the land of the dead, and then they make it back. It's really interesting how Davy Jones' locker actually works.
Yeah.
Dead Men Tell No Tales. Which is the US title for the 5th movie. Funnily enough.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a weird scene.
And it's just over half an hour into the film, and we get our first appearance of Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow.
It doesn't feel like half an hour. It's fly by. Like,
yeah, it has gone fairly quick, but you know there are parts of this movie that are slow. So it is a long film.
this is a weird scene with all the different Jacks, but yeah. For me, this is Johnny Depp's last. For me, this is Johnny Depp's last great performance as Jack. I think after this, he just kind of starts to phone it in.
He's still good though. He's still good in 4 and 5. More in 4, not so much 5. But yeah, I don't think he's ever given a terrible performance.
No, I mean, I don't think he's bad in 4 and 5, but I just think 3 is like the last time we have like, you know, interesting things for Jack really to do. Like there just isn't much added to his character in 4 and 5, and yeah, it's fucking weird.
Why is he moving towards the goat?
Do you want to fuck it? Jack was into bestial sex.
Look at all the tattoos on Johnny Depp.
I mean, obviously they aren't. He doesn't actually have those tattoos, but yeah, it's weird.
It's all makeup that's been done. Well, there is a way of doing tattoos with filmmakers. I think they have like they draw the designs and they peel something off and then they put it on your arm. I'm not quite sure how it works.
I heard it's like vegetable oil or something that they use.
Yeah.
Cannot be recovered once more. Do you understand?
I can imagine Mark Kermode watching this with all the different Johnny Depps and just going mad.
Yes. Yeah. He was happy when they didn't introduce him till 35 minutes, and then he was like, God's sake, there's 35 of them. I mean, you know, when you're alone and in the land of the dead, you're bound to go a bit mad.
Yeah. Well, you have nobody to talk to.
I love how it's just like white. There's just nothing here. You know, it's like a beach and just like rocks and. I guess it was quite bold of the filmmakers to kill off the main character in the second film of the series. I mean, obviously, with the intention of bringing him back to life, but even so.
Yeah. I mean, I think Iron, like, with Johnny Depp in the Pirates films, he sort of suffers from the same thing that Robert Downey Jr. does in Iron Man. You know, he's done so many films that after a while, you know, the performances, you know, you kind of know what's kind of come from his performance, but yeah.
Funny that about Robert Downey Jr. The next Avengers, I think, will be the last thing he does for Marvel. So, yeah, he's moving on.
Yeah. I think it's time because I think Iron Man's getting a little stale as well, but yeah.
Why does he lick it?
What I want to know is how. Well, I mean, I suppose he's dead, but does he eat anything? You know, when he's dead.
I don't really know. I guess food would probably just appear because it's in the land of the dead. So he probably doesn't realize how long he's been there. I suppose as well.
How long was it set after the second one?
I think literally straight away. Literally, like maybe a few days after the second one.
Yeah.
Because we end the second film in Tear Down with Shaq. Barbossa's come back to life. So obviously they'll want to question him about, you know, how he came back to life, etc., etc. And then they go off to Singapore. So that probably takes a good few days at least. So I would say a few days.
Well, actually, back then it would have taken months to get there because you're traveling by boat, not by plane. So
maybe it was
weeks or months. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. Yeah, probably weeks. Probably a good few weeks.
Yeah, I find this weird, like the crab scene, like all these different crabs.
Yeah. It doesn't really make much sense, but it's the land of the dead, so it's logic kind of goes out the window.
Yeah. And plus, it's a Pirates movie, you know. Like,
I mean, yeah, Gore Verbinski wanted to just, you know, give the visual effects team some praise. Give them some screen time.
yeah. That's one thing I will say. Like, the visual effects in the Pirates films are great.
Oh, yeah. Also, actually, why was Jack trying to drag his ship? Did he actually think it was going to move? I mean, it's so heavy. Why did he think he could move the ship?
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, he would. Interesting the way the crabs do it.
Oh, hang on a minute. I've just realised something. The crabs. I think that was Tia Dalma or Calypso. Because I think when we see her in a minute, the crab goes underneath her dress. So she obviously, she's conjured up the magic. So, oh, I think that's what happened, but it's not really made clear.
This truly is a conflict. He's here.
Why do they need Jack? Because he's a compass?
No, because he has the 9th piece of 8. You know his little braid thing
Right.
attached to his bandana. It's that thing that is a piece of 8, and they need it to release Calypso. Witty Jack is closer than you think.
Black Pearl.
Restored to its former glory.
I like the way they recreated the scene from the first one, where he's on the top of the ship there. I mean, it's funny. Naomi Harris would go on to do James Bond, and she's a lot more attractive in the Bond films than she is here. I mean, here they kind of make her look a bit disgusting, but yeah.
Impossible. All the crabs.
Imagine if you just left without them.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
I mean, to be fair, if Jack just sailed on, he would be sailing on into nothing, because they're in the land of the dead, so he doesn't realise he has to turn the boat upside down yet. But...
Elizabeth.
I expect you're perpetual and virulent on my facility. Why? Sir, you're in Davy Jones' locker.
Davy Jones' locker.
I know that. I know where I am. Don't think I don't.
Hector. They call him Hector. I love the fact that Jack and Barbossa sort of, in the end, become best friends, even though they're sort of enemies.
Yeah, I do like that, actually, yeah.
You come because you need my help to save.
I mean, it's really from this point onwards that they become friends.
Yeah. They clearly had some history before the first film as well.
I mean, he was his enemy. He was his first mate for 10 years, and then he betrayed him. But, yeah.
But apparently it was Davy Jones that agreed Jack to be the captain of the Pearl, as long as he ferried the souls off to the next world, but which he didn't do. It's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
But it would seem that
I thought he doesn't really want to talk to Elizabeth.
I see my right there. Can't spot it. Be a tiny little thing. Couple of Becky has the half. The flying Dutch.
I would just tell Elizabeth to fuck off.
Just a minute.
It's funny that I think Naomi Harris's accent is really good. Jamaican
Oh, the
accent.
Jamaican, yeah, her Jamaican accent is really good. I actually thought, like, because I didn't really know who Naomi Harris was until like saw the Pirates films. I actually thought she was Jamaican until I saw Skyfall.
Yeah, so did I. I didn't realize it was the same person. And I think she
Yeah,
actually
same.
she lost
Yeah.
weight for Skyfall.
Yeah, I didn't know that she was the same person either when I watched Skyfall, because she looks so like disgusting in the Pirates films with her teeth and all that. But and then it's like, oh shit, yeah, she's in the Pirates films. Yeah.
Cotton.
Cotton.
Parents not Liffey. Who are you?
Taiwan. And my men.
Taiwan.
Where are your allegiances?
With the highest bidder.
I have a ship.
That makes you the highest bidder.
Good man. Where ain't grow?
Which way you go?
I love this scene when they're arguing.
Yeah. Well,
What are you doing? No, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Is given orders.
My ship. Hey, be my child. It's you, Chapman. Stowing.
Sorry.
I vote for you.
His telescope.
He gets a longer one. Oh.
That was a funny scene. That's probably one of the funniest scenes in Pirates.
Yeah.
I don't get why Elizabeth's just feeling sorry for herself. Like, is she guilty? Well, I guess that's what we're meant to think. She's feeling guilty.
Yeah, right.
Wasn't your burden to bear?
Oh.
No real emotion in this scene.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, the acting's a bit flat, really.
Mhm.
So you thought I loved
You
him.
think he'd be pissed off?
Yeah.
Well, did he say like you sacrificed Jack to the Kraken? Yeah.
Yeah. Make good choices alone. How can I trust?
Yeah. The acting is, yeah, it is. I mean, it is like two chairs meeting.
Yeah, I think Gore Verbinski needs some coaching with directing actors. I don't think he's the best at it. I mean, it wasn't really so bad in the first movie, but I think since the first one, the Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley just seem to like not give as much. I don't know why.
Yeah. Maybe they got fed up with it being back to back. I don't know.
Maybe. Although they did well in the fifth movie, because they're only in 5 minutes. Well, Keira Knightley got a
That's
paycheck
quite funny.
turning up to say no lines and just kiss Orlando Bloom, and that was it. David Jones.
I thought it was quite funny. He was like, I wonder what would happen if you dropped a cannonball on them. Well,
Calypso. Why does she not want people to know who she is?
because she's, I suppose, because she's Calypso, you know.
Yeah, but I don't know why it would be so bad for anyone to know. I mean, if anything, they need her now as well. So, but, I mean, obviously Barbosa knows because he was brought back to life, but still.
Her accent is really good, actually. She sounds like she's from Jamaica, man.
Yeah. Andarasi.
Well, I mean, that's where, I mean, parts of the Caribbean is in Jamaica. So, you know, I mean, it kind of makes me laugh. Like, the Americans call these films, like, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, you know, she wants to be free as well. So she's sort of been, I think she describes it, she's been trapped in human form. So I can't exactly remember what happens, but why she was trapped in single form. I think, was she murdering people or something? Like, I don't
This
know.
scene is, yeah. This scene is powerful. Yeah.
That's the best acting you get from Keira Knightley in this film.
Yeah. This is a powerful. It's actually quite a haunting and powerful scene in the movie, like a dark scene.
Yeah. I mean, with this third film, they stripped away all the fun, the swashbuckling adventure. This is more of an epic, and it's emotional.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, I'm dead.
If you stab the heart, take its place. And you will fail to seize or return.
I wonder who killed him. Was it Beckett?
Yeah. Well, I think Beckett had him executed. I don't know why though. I mean, what did Governor Swan do wrong? You know.
I think Beckett's just a prick. And plus
Yeah.
Elizabeth's with Jack and all that. So technically she's a pirate now.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just a dick. He's just a dickhead, so that's why I probably killed her.
I love the performances in this scene. Jonathan Pryce particularly.
That is a good acting scene from Keira Knightley.
Yeah. And also from Jonathan Pryce when he says, "I'm so proud of you, Elizabeth."
One thing I don't get, though, why don't they just bring him aboard?
I don't think. I don't know. It's weird. I actually don't know.
Is he an illusion or something? I don't know. Like,
I guess
a ghost.
I think because I think Tia Dalma says, "Oh, they're just ghosts," you know.
Yeah.
It is, you know, there are some things that aren't explained.
Where's the rum gone joke? It kind of really got tired by Salazar's revenge. Like the scene where like Jack's drinking the rum and it gets shot and he's like, "Where's all the rum gone?" It's like, I've heard that joke a fucking million times. Yeah. I always love Gibbs in these films. Kevin McNally's Gibbs is just really good.
Yeah, he's one of the only few that have been in all 5 movies.
Yeah, although sadly he didn't get much to do in 5, but
yeah,
still nice to have him there.
Yeah, he was kind of in the 4th one more or less.
It's just maddeningly unhelpful.
Yeah, he didn't really get that many lines in the 5th one, sadly, which I found a bit disappointing. But yeah.
Don't stand up. The Dutchman must have a captain.
The Dutchman must have a captain.
Sail the seas.
You know, I don't know why Bootstrap Bill didn't stab the heart. Because I think he'd be a good captain for the Dutchman. And technically, Will didn't choose to stab the heart. It was Jack that made him stab the heart.
I suppose he still stabbed it though, so he still becomes Davy Jones.
Yeah.
Well, not Davy Jones, but
Yeah.
The Dutchman.
I guess Jack thought, well, it was the only way to save his life. Probably the most decent thing Jack ever did, actually. Done down.
This is a funny scene where they have to turn the boat upside down.
It is a really good scene. And I think this has got some of the best music of the film. Oh. It's weird how Jack just doesn't tell them. He's just like, oh, what's this? Oh. He doesn't tell them to turn the boat upside down.
They just think he's mad.
He probably is, actually, from being in the land of the dead for so long.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ugh. Rock the boat, baby, rock the boat.
Up is down. He's onto it.
Imagine they played that song. It'd be fucking funny if they played that song. Rock the boat, baby.
That is true. I do think Barbosa makes a better captain, to be fair. Just, he's more commanding.
I suppose he's more... Yeah, and he's more serious. Jack's more of a bit of a...
Goofball.
He's a bit of an Egypt, Jack. Yeah.
How did they manage to tie themselves upside down? That's amazing.
Yeah. Probably got someone else to do it.
Yeah, I suppose I would have to. See, I know people complain that this film is too long, which, yes, it is. But, you know, you can't deny that there's some great stuff that happens in this film. I mean, we're 55 minutes in, so for me, so far, it's not dragged.
Why do they need to turn it upside down? Just out of interest.
Why do they need to turn it upside down? To get to the land of the living.
Oh, yeah, fair. Oh, shit. Oh,
it's weird, because they go underwater, and then the boat shoots in the direction that they are facing up, and then that brings them back to the land of the living, for some reason. Spectacular stuff, though.
Yeah. Oh no, the pretty boy's gone.
William.
Bootstraps.
They're just going to wait for the sun to go down and the flash of green.
I love that line in the first film. Bootstraps.
Bootstraps. We strapped a cannon to bootstraps.
How long would they have to hold their breath, though?
It's been a good few minutes already. I like that shot as the camera turns around.
Pretty good. Well, I suppose that they wouldn't need to hold their breath because they're already dead. You can't die again if you're already dead.
I guess so. And thankfully, they have returned. The monkey.
Blessed sweet West. Blessed. We're back.
Sunrise.
Oh. A Mexican standoff.
I think Gore Verbinski is a fan of westerns. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Look, as you said, look at the references in this film.
Yeah.
I wonder whether this is an outtake.
I don't think so. I mean, I love westerns. I actually need to review more on my channel. I need to review the. I would need to re-review the Man of No Name trilogy.
Pirates are gathering to fight Beckett. Gathering to fight Beckett or a pirate.
I like when he pointed the gun at Elizabeth. Like, I mean, she gave him a look like, "Why would you do that?" But it's like, are you surprised after what you did do in the second film? Like,
Yeah, exactly. She's not innocent. You know, she left him to die. So.
well, they're all waterlogged.
We can still use those clouds.
There is some good comedy in this film.
There's a freshwater spring on this. There's a freshwater spring on this. You lead the show, buddy. I'll stay with you. I'll stay with you. Nice. Why don't you both get? Why don't you?
I mean, it's interesting how Gore Verbinski kind of made the pirate genre popular, because before this, like, pirate films were quite unpopular. Like Cutthroat Island was a big budget film and it didn't do any. It did terribly at the box office. But
Mind the
probably
boat.
seen the telescope.
And he made it fun. I mean, at the end of the day, I know Mark Commode complained about Pirates of the Caribbean as a film because it was just a fairground ride, but at the end of the day, what's wrong with that? It's fun. And yeah, Gore Verbinski made it fun. And it's definitely one of the most popular movie franchises. There's a big fan base for Pirates of the Caribbean. And that grew since 2003. I like this scene. We see the Kraken dead. Although I'm also kind of disappointed that we didn't see more of the Kraken. I would have liked to see more of it in this film, but well.
I suppose it already served its purpose in the second film, so CGI is pretty good though.
Yeah. I'm not sure why Beckett ordered Davy Jones to have it killed. Right.
I think it was just basically to tell Davy Jones, you know, well, no, because the Kraken was swallowing up Navy ships, so I think Beckett was like, no, you get rid of that shit, you know, kill it off. I think it was also to teach Jones a lesson, like, you know, don't fuck with me.
Yeah. That's very true. This is kind of the blossoming of Jack and Barbossa's friendship. Well, yeah.
I have to say, Jeffrey Rush's accent is great. You really do. I mean, he's an Australian actor, but you really do think he's from Cornwall. Like, he's got the pirate accent down, you know, to a T. You know, like,
Yeah. It's funny that, because I used to think he was from there with his accent. I thought that's how he actually talked, and that's why they cast him. But then I saw an interview, and I was like, oh, he's Australian. Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah. I would say he does a better English accent than Johnny Depp does. I mean, Johnny Depp, I still think he does a decent accent, but sometimes it sounds a bit Australian. But ugh.
I mean, I do like Depp's voice. It works well. I mean, you know, it's just he's doing just like a Cockney accent, essentially.
He's the captain.
He's the captain. And here we get the return of Xiao Feng. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about him. He was in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Jack's.
He's a good character. I like Cho Yun Fat.
Mm. It's weird how a lot of characters have a past with Jack or have beef with Jack. It's like he just pisses everybody off.
Release her.
Ugh. He broke his nose.
Mm.
What bargain be that? What bargain be that?
You heard Captain Turner?
Captain Turner.
Release her.
Release her. Be a spotter.
I need the pearl. For my father.
The pearl.
For my father. The only reason I came on this voyage.
Can you tell me what that is?
My bun to bear. Suck that, Elizabeth.
Ooh!
Captain Turner needs the pearl.
So guilty.
You Did no one come to save me just because
The crew just put their hands up.
I'm standing over there with him. I'm sorry. But there is a wants to see you.
Elizabeth is just a bitch.
There's a lot of double deals going on because Sire Fang made a deal with Beckett as well.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the Black Pearl.
Yeah.
Curious.
This is a good scene.
I love how Beckett just kind of finds Jack annoying. He's just, constantly looking down on him, as if he's like an idiot.
Yeah.
It's not here.
What? What isn't? What?
Is safely aboard the Dutchman. The untrainable visitors are never available to find evidence to justify the death.
By my reckoning, that counts.
By your death.
And yet here you are.
I like the portrait of Beckett.
Yeah, clearly doesn't love himself.
Yeah. The way Jack's trying to pose as him. The kid, lol.
Company crew. Ooh. I mean, that's the thing about Beckett. It just kind of makes my skin crawl. It's just so creepy. Like, the way he just talks to him so calmly and like, everybody so calmly. Like, he's offering him a drink and shit. It's like, ugh. Yeah. It's weird. It's like underneath that, exterior is a very dangerous man.
Yeah, that's what I like about him. He's just he's so calm and like in that way, like psychopath.
He's very manipulative. What is the purpose of the 9 pieces of 8?
What did he say?
Beckett's not going to give up the only
What
ship.
did he say about Beckett?
Beckett won't give up the only ship that can outrun the Dutchman.
Oh, fair enough, yeah.
I like the scars that they put on Southing's face.
Yeah.
Make him look kind
The
of...
scars are really interesting.
You want to know how I got these scars, Jack Sparrow?
Goddess herself. Imagine all the power of the sea, all the power of
He thinks Elizabeth is Calypso, lol.
I love how they don't actually know what Calypso looks like. I guess they probably never. They don't know that she's human at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, when I first saw this movie, I used to think it was. First, I thought it was Calippo. You know those little drinks, the carton of drinks that you used to get.
Well,
Then they were like Calypso. Oh, okay. Everybody's always after Elizabeth.
well, she is fucking hot.
True. True. You don't imagine her as a mother in Pirates 5.
Yeah. I mean, I would want Keira Knightley.
Not done.
This is what Freezer's then done. This is what Freezer's then done.
But there's Joe Young Fat just fucked Elizabeth.
I kill you. Then I can make the compass to find it.
Yeah. Everybody pervs on Elizabeth in this film. The crew are looking up her skirt. Southing tries to kiss her.
Experience dealing with pirates. Pirates.
And also
Cut out
Nora
the middle.
kissed her as well.
With me killed, you find the girl. Find the stronghold 9. Stronghold 5. Understand blockade for the name. You'd be wishing, oh, only there was someone not killed inside. Not killed inside. Into the end. You can accomplish this. You may kill me, but you may never insult me. Who am I? Who am I? Kevin Jack Sparrow. Kevin Jack Sparrow.
Even Jack's making deals as well. Making deals with Beckett.
Yeah. I wonder if the reboot is going to be a soft reboot or a hard reboot.
I think it would probably be a hard reboot. But I mean, who knows? It is quite hard to tell at this point.
You're mad.
Hello. Da-da-da. Da-da-da.
It's funny that Beckett's not really threatened by anyone. But he just thinks back.
That's without even a single drop of rum. Only when Beckett realizes he's been defeated is when he really kind of, you know, closes down. When he's like, shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is amazing how Beckett does take control of the sea.
Yeah. Well, the British Empire was huge back then. As the song goes, Britain rules the waves, rule Britannia. So, I mean, we did have a huge navy back then. The biggest navy, I think, in the world. Best navy as well. Yeah.
And the Navy play a huge part in Pirates of the Caribbean.
I mean, they were huge. I mean, we did have the biggest navy in the world and the best navy in the world.
I like the set. I really like the set of his cabin.
I don't know why she'd agree to be with Cho Young Fat. I mean, he's so fucking disgusting. Like, basically just wants to fuck her. Lol.
I think she only went on board so the others could go free.
Yeah.
We being who? Confirm what?
So the only reason he wanted her was because she thinks she's a Calypso.
Yeah.
I just thought he wanted Elizabeth to fuck her.
I think he would have taken her to Shipwreck Cove. I think he still would have taken her. He just wants to fuck her. Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a fan. Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't want to fuck Keira Knightley though? Wow.
This is weird.
I have to say, she's the best visuals of the film.
Funny, when he said that, I thought he said, "I would have your Gibbs." I thought, what? Why does he want Gibbs? What the fuck? Your fury.
What did he say? I'll have your gifts.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yes. Yeah. Ugh, get off me, you creep. And then that's it. He's dead. What an absolute waste of a character.
Yeah, I will agree on that.
With his dying wish, I mean, he does apologize. He says, "I'm sorry, forgive me, but you got to take my piece of 8 and go to the Shipwreck Cove or wherever it is."
Does he say sorry?
He says, "I'll go to Shipwreck Cove and free yourself." My name's Elizabeth. Damn, his first mate wanted that.
One thing I mean, it's kind of bad that he gets killed off, but at the same time, I'm glad he didn't get to rape Elizabeth. Like, you know.
Yeah. So maybe it was for the best that they killed him off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Norrington. We haven't seen Norrington for quite a while.
Your father will be overjoyed to know that.
My father's dead.
Can't be true. He returned home.
Did Lord Beckett tell you that?
Lord Beckett.
Who among you do your name as
Captain,
I feel bad for Norrington because, you know, he was supposed to marry Elizabeth in the first film, and then she decided, "Fuck you, I'm going to go with Will." And then, you know, he was disgraced, and now he's basically under Beckett's control. You know.
Yeah. To be fair, Norrington actually did want to go back to his old position, but yeah, you can tell he still loves her.
No.
Yeah.
Sandwiches?
I think the news of her dad's death kind of changes his opinion on where he stands with Beckett and everything else. I like his change of heart, but I wish he had more scenes. He just doesn't get a lot of screen time.
Does she hate Norrington? Like when she said, "Oh, what side do you choose?" Like,
No, she doesn't hate him. She just wishes that he would support her, and support the pirates. But yeah, another character we haven't seen since the last film, Bootstrap Bill.
Stellan Skarsgård's better than this than in Mamma Mia.
We can go walking.
How did he just start singing? Oh.
It's weird. Like they keep going over this thing that Will has to choose between Elizabeth and his dad. Well, why can't he have both? Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
What's the? I mean, he does anyway. So, what's the whole deal with? Oh, if he saves me, he loses you. Well, he doesn't.
I'll save me. Can't come because of you.
I have to say the prosthetics great for Bootstrap Bill.
Yeah, all the barnacles. He's the one crew member on Jones's ship that they don't actually CGI.
I'm kind of glad. I mean, I prefer prosthetic and practical effects over CGI any day.
Well, that being said, Davy Jones looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, Davy Jones looks great. Yeah, CGI is really good. I mean, of course you'd pick Elizabeth. I mean, fuck's sake. I mean, she's better to look at than Bootstrap Bill.
Yeah.
Why don't I understand? Is he part of the ship, or does he just like live in the walls or something? Or
I think he is now, since they imprisoned him for helping Will escape in the previous film. They've just decided that he's got to stay, in the wall. I think, but he's forgetting.
he can't leave. Yeah.
It's coming for me. I can see.
William.
What, is his memory fucked or something? Because one minute he's saying like he wouldn't come for me, and then he's like, he's coming for me. Wait and see, like, you know my name, like, what's up with his memory or something like?
I'm guessing, yeah. I'm guessing because he's becoming part of the ship, he's forgetting everything. But it didn't happen to the other guy who they spoke to in the second film. But I don't know. Another one of those things that Gore Verbinski didn't explain.
East India Trading Company. Becca never smiles in the films. Oh.
I think he has glints, but yeah, he never fully smiles.
I suppose because he's just a pissed off individual.
Yeah, he's just a naturally quite intense person.
Yeah. I mean, you never see him laughing with Jack having a pint, you know.
I do like Will's conflict in the film. He's still upset with Elizabeth, but at the same time, he still loves her. But he also loves his dad, so he's trying to work out what to do.
I do kind of agree with the runtime. It is sort of dragging a little bit here, but yeah.
Yeah. Just unnecessary padding, It's mainly in the first half.
Yeah.
In the second half of the movie, it does pick up, but in the first half, it takes its time. It's like we could lose a lot of this, I think 2.5 hours would have been better.
Yeah. I agree.
It's 20 minutes too long.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do remember having fun memories, like watching it with my cousin and her family and all. We all went to see it at the cinema and went to a Chinese restaurant afterwards, funnily enough. So, yeah.
I remember seeing it with some friends from school and their dad. My dad took me and my sister, and we sat in the cinema with them. God, it was long, but it was worth it. We all enjoyed the film, but we went in the morning showing, so we went at like 10 o'clock and we came out at 1:30. So it was quite a long sit through, and we stayed to the credits. So,
Yeah, I mean, it was. I remember loving it though when I first saw it. It was my favorite when I first saw it.
yeah. I do wonder whether it would
I
have
thought it
been
was the last one.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Sorry.
I thought so too. I do wonder whether it would have been better for them to release this film in 2008, give themselves another year just to refine the cut. Hey ho.
I suppose because you had to wait 3 years for a sequel, they thought might as well do it back to back. Because I remember watching the DVD as a kid, and then we had to wait 3 years for Dead Man's Chest, and you know, for me, 3 years as a kid it just felt so long. Like, you know, it felt like 10 years. But yeah.
I hate him.
I like Norrington as a character, and it's sad that he gets killed off.
Yeah. Essentially, he's just as much of a
I
victim
suppose-
as anyone else.
Yeah. I suppose the reason they killed him off, though, because his story is pretty much done, you know. His death is quite powerful.
I still don't get why Bootstrap kills him, though. Is it because he let the prisoners out? Like,
I think because he has to show loyalty now to Davy Jones.
yeah, because he let Will go.
Come with us. Come with. James, come with me.
But Norrington didn't know about her father's death. He didn't know.
You're lying. You're lying.
Our destinies have been entwined.
Go now.
I like that kiss, actually.
Yeah,
It works well.
agreed.
Although Elizabeth kisses so many men in this film, it's really, it's literally everybody pervs on her, and then she has to kiss Will at the end as well.
Do you think she still loves Norrington in some way? Like,
I think she really respects the guy. I don't think she actually is in love with him. But she loves Will, of course.
he was going to go back for them. Did she see him die?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I mean, she must fucking hate Bootstrap Bill.
No. I don't think so. Maybe they cleared things up afterwards. The Admiral's dead.
That was pointless. Well, this death scene was a good scene.
Nice sword. Although he just nicks his sword. The one that Will made for him in the first one.
Yeah. You see a death.
It's weird that I forget that Davy Jones hasn't actually been in the film very much so far.
What?
Davy Jones has not been in the film much, actually.
I suppose because he's not really the main villain in this third one.
Yeah. Obviously, he'll get more later on, towards the end.
Yeah. I mean, mainly the second one is more his film. Like,
Yeah.
the second one, it's funny because the second one, Beckett is kind of doesn't get much to do in the second one, and Jones kind of doesn't get a lot to do in the third one. So, like, Jones is the main villain in the second, and Beckett really in the third. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually, yeah. They changed the focus a little bit. But they still give Davy Jones enough focus in this
A
film.
lot to do, yeah. Yeah, they still give him a lot to do, like, enough to do anyway. He's not, like, you know, in it for 2 minutes, you know.
Barbossa. Well, you have to bring me back.
It took 9 pirate dogs. Never take no risk.
Is Barbossa cured of the skeleton thing in
Yes,
Pirates 3? Alright, he is. Alright.
Mrs. Fish. Yeah, because if you remember, in the first film, at the very end, Will cut his hand with the blood, and his blood went on the treasure, and he dropped the medallion into the treasure chest.
Yeah, but Jack the Monkey took the coin out, so I thought that means he's still undead because the coin would be missing.
Nah.
I don't know.
But Barbossa definitely died because obviously she had to bring him back.
Yeah.
I cannot bear someone like some mongrel pup. I like this scene. This is quite a good scene. You can tell Will is just, fed up with Jack.
We rescued Jack from the locker room. What else have you not? Told me. It's far more troubles. I believe you're the person called.
Oh.
One who delights in cussing men with the wildest dreams and then revealing them to be hollow and naught but ash. Well rid of. Not quite so.
Is it me? But Bill Nye kind of sounds like he's a Scottish accent in this film.
No.
Like,
Yeah, I think he's doing Scottish. Yeah.
yeah.
That was our agreement.
Calypso. Yeah. Bind her. Yeah. I think it is Scottish. It must be.
No choice.
It reminds me. Sounds like he's doing an Edinburgh accent or something.
Yeah. I think it works though for his character.
Yeah. He's basically got like a squid face.
After which betrayed you cut out your heart.
Oh.
I didn't finish that. I like that Will's actually sort of standing up to him more as well in this film. Like, because Jones kind of brought him down, made him slave on his ship. No, this time Will's like, no, I'm not taking your crap, mate. I know you about you and Calypso.
Yeah.
He loves her, but yet he'd have her murdered. Oof.
I think because she cursed him to be Davy Jones and all that.
Yes, because he didn't do his job. He was meant to ferry souls to the next world, and he didn't. And I think because she was meant to meet him somewhere, and she never came because he waited for her or something.
Yeah. Oh, the compass? Oh.
What is it you want most?
Beckett is just such a snake. He double deals everybody, even Jack.
Yeah.
Well,
To be fair, everyone double deals everybody. Will double deals, Jack double deals, Elizabeth double deals, Sire Fame double deals, heck, even Barbosa.
yeah. Yeah.
I love the
There's just
design
so
of
much
Shipwreck
double
Cove.
dealing. Oh, yeah, it's great.
I love how it just kind of looks like a junkyard of boats. Oh, the more money. I think maybe this scene in the Brethren Court, I think this goes on a bit long.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But we've been watching this film for just over an hour and a half, so still got quite a way.
Yeah. I like to see all the different parts. So.
Pieces of junk.
When the first court met, the brethren was change the name. Not important, whatever we happen to have in our pockets at the time. Oh yes, very pirates. Oh yes, that's very piracy.
9 pieces of crap. Well,
Master Rigetti.
Oh, precisely, just like you said when you gave it to me.
his eye is one of the pieces of 8. So.
But I point out that we are still on pirate rule.
Bang is dead. Bang is dead. Help the Flying Dutchman.
Made you Captain? Just give him the money,
Love how these guys are all meant to be pirate lords, how they refer to them as lords, and yet they're all just as bad as each other.
He's probably the poshest pirate you've ever seen.
Yeah. Where's Will? Not among us.
We fight.
Yeah, I agree with Mark Commode. Why does it have to be Elizabeth that encourages them to fight? She's not even a pirate.
I know. Yeah, and she's just such a posh, like, oh, I'm a pirate.
Yeah, Sire Thing is dead.
This very spot, the first Brethren Court captured the sea god.
Yeah, and she's the king of the pirates, really? I mean, if you're going to make someone the king of the pirates, make it Barbosa or Jack or something, you know?
Yeah. To be fair, Jack is too reckless to be king of pirates.
but at least Barbosa, I mean, you can respect the guy, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he talks a good speech as well. I mean, gives him an inspirational speech.
Yeah.
Ladies.
We must free Calypso.
Shoot his tongue. Funny, this is just like Tortuga. They're just fighting each other. This is politics.
I have to say, these pirates could agree. At least they can agree on this, unlike the fucking politicians and Brexit.
Oh yeah, let's not go there. Let's not even go there. And especially also America as well with Donald Trump.
At least the pirates can agree to something.
This is a really interesting scene between the two lovers. We get to know a bit more about what happened between them.
What's actually quite cool as well is that you see Davy Jones in human form when she touches him. It's quite cool.
Yeah, it's actually kind of weird to see him in human form.
Yeah, because you're used to seeing him as a CGI character.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't. Is it just me, or it doesn't really look like Bill Nye when he's in human form?
10 years.
I think that you're right. Yeah. Is it Bill Nye though in human form, or is it someone else?
I would assume so, but yeah, you don't get a long glimpse at him, to be honest.
Finally.
It's only like a couple seconds.
You went there. I went.
I wonder how they met.
If I were anything but what
I love you.
Many things.
never cruel, who have corrupted your and so mercy, and you did hide away what you is up in mind.
Oh, you know, yeah, it is him.
Yeah.
I really like the music in this scene as well.
Yeah.
I would my heart, and we would be together, obvious, when we had a heart, Why did you come?
How he can just pass through like the walls and the barriers. Almost like he's a ghost.
I suppose he kind of is. Why doesn't she just lift Jones of the curse? I'm sure he'd be a nicer guy.
Yeah. They both have their reasons for, in a way, hating each other and loving each other.
She's a bit of a sadistic. She kind of toys with him. I kind of
Yeah.
feel bad for him.
In a way, it's really her fault. But I think she didn't like the fact that he became evil. Like, because he was, you know, he was keeping people on his ship to crew rather than ferrying them to the land of the dead. So I guess that kind of angered her. But, yeah. Gratitude.
Your burns.
Yeah.
That's a better ball sack joke than we were underneath. The enemy scrotum.
Oh god, yeah. One-legged man with 18-pound balls. That's why he walks funny.
Let us not, dear friend. Get out.
The cuttlefish.
Cuttlefish.
You just think, what the hell is he on about?
Look together and they will devour
Thing is going on a bit.
Yeah. They could have cut this down a bit.
fish nature. So yes, we could hold up to the well-provisioned harvest we did within.
I don't know whether Gore Verbinski and everybody making the film just
Or
did this as the first cut and they just shoved it out in the cinema. I think they needed to recut this film a little bit or trim it down a bit.
so naively suggests.
I think they made it this long because it was the third and final chapter in that trilogy at that time, where they thought it was going to be the third and final one. So they were like, may as well make it 3 hours.
Mm.
It's
It's funny, Jack's just bullshit so much, and then he just says, I agree with Elizabeth. Let's just fight.
Swan. We must fight.
We must fight. You always
Have not, yet so.
have not, yeah. Yeah, so. Have not. So, and you know it. Have not, never encountered. I have only embraced.
I submit that here now.
Us
That is
here
what
now. That is what we all
we
must
must
do.
fight.
We must fight.
Run away.
Run away.
We must fight and run away.
This be
An act or this be
known
exactly
to be
that.
declared by the
No, that by Pirate King.
that I know.
You made that.
T. Keeper.
Daddy-O.
See somebody. Proclaim this
Marching.
world to be
All body.
It's weird how pirates in this series have laws, like have the code, as they call it, like a code of conduct. Like it's, you know, in a way, it's kind of redundant because pirates just plunder and pillage as they please. So, yeah,
Keith Richards.
it's quite amusing.
They should have just played a Rolling Stones song here.
It's weird. Funny, in each of the first 3 films, they introduce a dad. Actually, in each of the first 4 movies, the first film was Elizabeth's dad, second film Will's dad, third film Jack's dad, fourth film Penelope Cruz's dad, in the form of Blackbeard. And in the 5th movie was Barbossa as Karina's dad. What is it with all the dads?
Yeah.
It's just a
Is
pattern.
Keith Richards. Isn't Jack's dad in the 4th one as well, briefly?
He is actually, yeah. He has one scene. Details, mate. That dog made it to Shipwreck Cove.
He wasn't in the 2nd one, I don't think, was he?
No, but they were looking for it. No, actually, he was. He was on the Cannibal Island. So
Oh, Jack's dad was in the Cannibal Island?
no, the dog with the keys.
All right, yeah.
God knows how he made it off.
Was he in the first? Wasn't that dog in the first one, the one with the keys?
Yes. Why did the pirates need a king? Like, I don't really get it. Like, why? They don't need a king. They just do their own thing.
I call for a vote.
I call for a vote.
I don't understand why Cho Young Fat would make a white person the king. Well, make her the next pirate. You'd think he would give it to a Chinese person if they're like the Chinese pirates.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Swan.
Elizabeth Swan.
Elizabeth Swan.
He votes for Elizabeth. It's funny how they modelled Jack's look on Keith Richards.
Yeah. I mean, Markomoto says he does a David Bowie accent rather than Keith Richards.
Prepare every vessel that floats.
Prepare every vessel.
At dawn.
At dawn.
We're at war.
We're at war.
And shall go to war.
That was quite funny. Oh, why of all the people you choose Elizabeth? Elizabeth, she's not a pirate, and she talks in the most well-spoken accent. Why doesn't Teague be the king of pirates? Jack's dad. He should be the king of pirates. Ugh. I mean, it doesn't damage the movie too much, but you just think, why on earth?
Yeah, she's the poshest pirate, you know. Like, no, we shall go to war.
She looks great. How's Mum? She looks great.
Yeah.
I think this was the scene you were talking about earlier, where they reference Good and Bad and the Ugly, where they go on the island and they face off against Beckett, Davy Jones, and Will. Yeah.
Actually, I was going to ask you, do you think you'll review that soon?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I will review that soon. Yes.
Cheers, buddy.
I just need 3 hours to watch it.
It's worth it, though. It's the best of the trilogy.
Abandoned ship.
Abandoned ship. Well,
Shit, that was a whole armada. Parlay.
yeah, the music here, that is out of like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly and Once Upon a Time in America. Like that music is just it's obviously a reference, and like the way they're walking in that way, like, and look at the shots as well. Like
It's kind of funny seeing Davy Jones in a bucket.
He's in a bucket, yeah.
You can only step on land once every 10 years.
Well, the good would be Elizabeth, the bad would be Jack, and ugly would be Barbossa.
Yeah. Well, on the other side, Will certainly wouldn't be the ugly. That would probably be Davy Jones.
Yeah.
Will be good, Beck would be bad, Davy will be ugly.
It's a pretty cool reference as well. Like,
It's the tool of your betrayal.
My hands are clean. My actions were my own and to my own purpose. Well,
Well, I can afford the Dutchman. I understand the burden you bear. I understand that it's lost. That course is lost.
No course.
ooh.
Anna wasn't acting on your behalf.
It kind of seems to me a bit like Will is over Elizabeth a little bit in this film. Like he cares more about his dad than Elizabeth.
Yeah. But I think he realizes how much he does still love her. He's just conflicted because of what she did.
100 years in
Yeah.
And also Barbossa doesn't like the fact that Jack has double dealed with Beckett.
I propose an exchange. Will leaves with us. And you can take Jack.
She is such a bitch.
Done. I'm done. Done. King. But also she's a woman.
Why does Barbossa want Jack to stay?
I mean, he wanted the piece of 8, basically.
He just wanted a piece of it.
Yeah. Just so they could free Calypso.
For a minute, I thought he actually genuinely cared about Jack.
Well, I think there's
Actually saying that, Barbossa. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think, yeah, it depends because they were enemies in the first film, and yeah, they've got kind of a like-hate relationship.
Advise your brethren. Fight, and all of you will die. Not fight. In which case you must.
Murdered my father. And we have chosen yours. We will fight.
I'm surprised she just doesn't kill him right there.
She just wants to warn him, to scare him, you know. We will fight and you will die.
She could have just stabbed her sword into him or shot him.
Could have done.
If the brethren call, Percy Jack.
Maybe he really does know what he's like.
You feel bad for Jack because she's fucked him over again.
Again.
Oh yes, Chef Homer.
She is a bit of a bitch.
If I was Jack, I would kick the shit out of her. Like, twice you've done this?
I think, to be honest, she just wanted Will back.
Ugh. Jack is built bootstrap Bill. Ugh.
Ugh. I mean, great effects.
This looks great. Ugh.
Peanut.
It's interesting that Jack doesn't have any of these visions in the future films.
No.
You can't release it.
We need to take a chance. We need to take a chance.
Oh, she wanted him to try and, you know, stall them or delay them or something. She wanted Jack to try and mess up Beckett's plan. Oh, there was a reason why she exchanged them.
I just love the way Beckett doesn't give a shit. They've opted for oblivion. Prepare the fleet.
Yeah. War is declared. Oh, God, this is a long film.
And someone must speak the words.
Run.
Spoken as if to another. Calypso! Calypso from your
Much of it didn't work.
Is that it?
Well, it doesn't. Yeah.
You didn't say it right. You have to say it right.
Well, he is right.
Yeah. Oh, well, that did the trick.
Does she want to stay human?
Who was it? Who was it? Name it. Davy Jones.
Ah. Davy Jones imprisoned her. Oh, that makes sense.
He betrayed Calypso.
Well, according to Will, yeah. He was Davy Jones imprisoned her because Jones thought that she had pretended to love him because he was betrayed. Out of revenge, he imprisoned her.
Yeah. I have to say, this scene freaked me out when I was younger.
Yeah, it is a bit like, why is she going giant?
I suppose she's not human.
Yeah, she's a sea goddess, so I guess that's probably why. Yeah.
Calypso.
Calypso! Calypso!
You're awfully big.
I come to find
Yeah.
you as but a servant. Humble and contrite. I have fulfilled my vow. A favor.
And now I have a favor.
Spare me self, Misha. Unleash your fury upon those who dare pretend
Upon those
themselves
who dare pretend themselves your masters or mine.
Kind of fucks with him as well. What is she saying?
Yeah, I have no idea. Okay, so she turns into a whole load of crabs.
Yeah.
In a way, this doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Kind of throw logic out the window, yeah.
I guess she's a goddess, so she has many forms. She could take on many forms. She's a sea goddess.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Oh, the crab that is cock.
Literally, you could say that she gave him crabs.
God. See, that's not the attitude to have. In the Brethren Court scene, Barbossa was the one standing up giving speeches. So why does he just give up now? Like, surely you just want to fight on anyway. Why is it Elizabeth that has to inspire them? Because she's the Pirate King. Why does it have to be her?
Yeah.
God's sake.
We've an armed martyr against us. And with a Dutchman, there's no chance.
It's only a fool's chance.
Dutchman.
It's only a fool's
Revenge. Revenge. It's not something I'm intending to die. Something I'm intending to die for.
Well, we've been watching the film for 2 hours.
You're right.
Yeah. Still got another 48 minutes.
Yeah.
And what shall we die for?
There are longer films than this, but even so, this film is too long.
I agree.
Listen!
Brethren will still be looking here to us. Brethren will still be looking here to us.
To the Black Pearl to lead.
Frightened Bill, what they see.
Let Barbossa do the speeches, love.
Yeah.
They will see.
Oh, God.
The enemy will see us the flash of our cannons. They will see us the ring of our swords. And they will hear the ring of our swords.
It doesn't sound right coming from Elizabeth. It really doesn't.
Give it to Barbossa.
It's because they made her the Pirate King. They thought, oh, well, we better give her some big speech that would inspire the crew. But
Rally them.
yeah.
Hoist the colours.
Hoist the colours.
Who's the colours?
Still seem not motivated.
The wind's on our side, boys! That's all we need!
Yes, Elizabeth. Yes, your great speech is not.
Yeah. I do love the music in the scene, and it is a great moment.
Yeah.
As they're preparing for battle.
What I really like about World's End as well is just all the different pirates that you see, like the Chinese, the Jamaican, the English pirates, like all of them, like all the different, like the Middle Eastern pirates and stuff, like.
Yeah, they've gone more international. They've expanded the lore of pirates in this film. They've shown you a range of them. Oh. It's battle time. I was drinking a cup of tea.
We have a favourable wind, sir. Favourable wind, sir. Signal Joe. Signal Joe.
I just kind of like the fact that Becca's just having a cup of tea in the middle of a battle. That's
Yeah.
such an English thing.
No quarter.
It kind of reminds me of William of Orange during the Battle of the Boyne. During the battle, he actually sat down and had a picnic.
Calypso.
He knows it's her.
Yeah. I wonder if the storm is meant to like represent her tears, like, and her anger as well. Like she says that, you know, they'll learn how cruel I can be, you know.
Or maybe the reason why Jones got angry got angry was because Calypso was pissing on him.
Oh, God. Okay, all right, you win.
You
Okay,
could think of it like that.
2 hours in and we get the big battle. I mean, to be honest, the last half an hour, like the next half an hour, is pretty much the last battle. I mean, it makes up for not having much action to begin with. And then the film kind of has a slow ending. But I think this is a great battle. It's really epic.
Agreed.
I remember seeing the trailer for this film and being really wowed. I thought, wow, I cannot wait to see this film because it looks spectacular.
I have to say, I love this. I love this final fight in the whirlpool. It is awesome.
I love that line. You're free to get wet.
Yeah. Well,
But Jones is now taking control. He's like, piss off, Mercer. And thank God Barbossa is at the helm and not Elizabeth.
yeah. She would be a shit captain. She wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, she is a shit captain. She was made the captain for no reason. Then she's made Pirate King. You know, what other promotions are we going to throw at her? You know.
This is probably my favorite shit battle in the Pirate series.
I thought you said
It's so
shit.
epic. shit battle.
No, but I agree.
Someone left a comment on my Pirates ranking, and someone said, like, I thought you said Pirates wanking.
God, lol. They probably do in their spare time. No, I agree with you. I mean, I don't know if this is my favorite action scene, but it is a very, very epic battle. And definitely some of the best parts of this film. Leverage.
It's quite charming.
Drop brain. Cool. Even though the film's long, I do feel like it's been worth it. Oh. Fire. There's so many people like commanding the Black Pearl. Everyone's going, fire, fire. Wow. You got to give it to this. You know, Gore Verbinski and the filmmakers, they give you the spectacle, man. If you want a huge battle with pirates, I mean, you get that. You absolutely get that here.
Yarr!
Oh, these two. From the first movie.
I think it's kind of stupid how they become pirates. Like,
Yeah.
Who wants to stay and go for a kiss?
They are funny, though, these two. I like them.
No question. There has been a break.
yeah. They're like the Navy version of the two pirates.
Yeah, I agree, because they're like the second comedy act of comedy duo of the series.
Yeah. They always have these like long arguments that go on for ages.
Yeah. Their scene in the first film is quite funny with Jack. When he's trying to commandeer the ship. Oh, this is really freaky. This scene. This used to scare me when he kills Mercer.
Oh yeah,
Oh God. Oh.
it is a horrible scene. Ugh.
That suffocates him just to get the key. I lost a bird. I think this is a really good fight. This one of my favorite sword fights of the series. Jack and Davy Jones. The fact that it's on the mast, it's so high up, just creates a nice sense of scale. You know, because look at that whirlpool down there. That is awesome.
This is a cool fight.
Ding. I love the shots and the angles that they got. Capture that.
I just love the scale of the Pirates of the Caribbean films. They're just so epic.
Yeah, especially this one.
It's such an epic scene.
Yeah, I think you're right. And this one they tried to go like the biggest they've ever gone, I think. Do you feel like they downscaled a bit for 4 and 5? Just they went back to basics.
I think so, yeah. That is a stupid. Like, why would you ask them in the middle of a fight? Ask her in the middle of a fight.
Yeah. Because it's funny because they've been waiting so long to get married. They just think, fuck it, we might die, so let's just get married now. It is kind of, you know.
They were going to marry at the start of the second one.
Barbosa.
It is kind of stupid.
I love the fact when he says, I've made my choice, what's yours? And she says, Barbosa! He's like,
how can he marry them without a ring?
yeah.
Well,
It's not legally binding, of course, but, you know.
it's kind of cheesy, but...
Yeah. I think it's kind of sweet in a way.
Yeah.
I do.
It's like, well, you're not married yet, legally.
They're just doing the vows. If this is what 2 chairs getting married is like, then Mark Commode, you're in luck.
I have to say though, technically Henry's a bastard if they didn't get married properly.
Well, no, but I mean they are in love, so it was all consensual, you know.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Could you imagine Barbosa as a vicar? That would be funny.
You may guess.
I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Just guess.
Imagine like their heads got cut off as they were kissing in the middle of a fight. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
It's quite beautiful though, the music and how the camera is kind of just moving around, and then the water all comes by, and then it all looks very romantic, doesn't it?
yeah.
Surprised he
I love the
doesn't
wee
fall
short
back.
guy.
I think his name's Marty. Like how he doesn't fall back like he did in the beginning of the film.
Yeah, that was funny. Leave it.
Nice sword fighting. See, this is what I wanted in Salazar's Revenge. A good sword fight.
Yo.
Wow. It's some great visual effects in this final battle.
This is an epic film.
Probably the most epic of the Pirates of the Caribbean series.
Oh, that guy.
Dun, 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 dun.
That guy from the second one.
Yeah. I shall pry the chest from your cold, dead hands. Wow.
I remember his head gets missed, and he's looking for his head in the second one. That was funny.
No. I've got the monkeys in the cannon.
The animals were harmed during the making of this film.
Thank you, Jack. Why does that guy just stand there looking at the sword for ages? It's a sword, dude.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, nice sword, mate."
How they cranked this one out
Is that
here.
Norrington sword? Is that Norrington sword? Yeah.
Yeah, the one that Davy Jones just retrieved. Yeah, it was Norrington's.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Bootstrap Bill, since he's part of the ship now, he's like forgetting, like his memory's fading because he's becoming part of it more. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be. Thinking about it, it may not be actually that dark, this film. It's mainly just the opening that's quite dark. There's still quite a lot of humour in this film.
Well, so I suppose that's good. You know, you don't want it to be too dark.
Da-da-dun-dun-dun-da-da. I feel like Gore Verbinski just wanted it to be like the mother of all battles.
Yeah.
Especially as it's
I mean,
meant
you
to
can literally. I'm surprised Jack just doesn't eat Davy Jones, like fry him up in a pan since he's a squid to have fried calamari.
yeah, with a side of lobster.
Yeah.
Little tentacle crawling along with the key.
Doesn't Jack just grab it?
He's about to kill her as well.
Yes. Did you forget? A heartless wretch.
Whoa.
Great love for faithful for so yes. So easily simple. Well, you cannot
Fear of death.
dead. You
Someone stabbed that fucking heart.
Uh-oh.
Bastard.
Any tonic. I'll be knocking dead in the palm of one
any tonic. I'll be dead on one side.
mine.
Yeah. Oh my God. Rule is a matter of perspective. Is it?
Oh no!
Oh, shit.
Not all loon don't land.
Orlando Bloom's dying. Ah! Well,
Oh. He's acting.
put a bit more into it.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the feeling?
He's just like, ah!
It's like he's got a scab that he's picking. Like,
Yeah. 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 It's just, he's acting as though it's only a little flesh wound.
Oh god, they gave him more barnacles.
Yeah, I think because this time he's... But he'd be dead by... He's been stabbed in the heart. He would have died already by this point.
Bootstrap should have beaten up Davy Jones ages ago. Finally, someone kills this bastard. And it's Will.
Will would have already been dead by that point.
Well, you think he's like dying. Calypso.
But we stabbed him in the heart though, but yeah, thank God Davy Jones is dead, the bastard. Oh,
Gone through his own locker.
Calypso.
Whoa. And I think, yeah, the Dutchman is going down now. I mean, even if you don't like this film, you can't deny that battle was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, pretty awesome. He's dead. He's dead, love.
Yeah. Sorry, is it too much rum? Alcohol poisoning. Part of the crew. Keira Knightley's acting. I won't leave you.
So wait, did they take out Will's heart and put it in the chest?
Yeah, his dad, Bootstrap, he cut his heart out and put it in the chest. It was the only way to save his life.
Yeah, I never understood why she couldn't stay on the ship with him.
Yeah, like I know that the chest and the heart needed to be kept on the island for safety, but yeah, surely Elizabeth could just jump on the ship and go with him, and they could. I guess they thought, well, I don't know about, maybe it was because of Henry. Although he left before she gave birth, so yeah, it's a bit weird.
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
And then it's weird, in Salazar's Revenge, Will's got barnacles as well.
And I think it's time we embrace that oldest and noblest of pirate traditions.
Do you think Will slowly become like Davy Jones, like eventually an octopus as well?
He would have maybe. I think this is a great final moment for Beckett when his ship, the Endeavour, goes down, and then he just gallantly accepts his defeat. He actually gets a bit emotional because it's just good business. He doesn't exude his emotion. It's all contained, and I think that's what's great about Tom Hollander. Sorry, not Tom Holland. Tom Hollander. Yeah. He thinks he's got the upper hand because he has the Armada, but then the Dutchman comes back and he sees Will, and then it's like, oh, shit. We're over.
I quite like that. It's just good business.
Great soundtrack by Hans Zimmer. She survived.
Dun, dun!
Ugh. The normal crew now. It's good.
I don't understand, like they're cured of like Davy Jones, but yeah, he still has barnacles when he comes back in the fifth one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if that's just what comes with it. But Jones got turned into the squid monster, and his crew got turned into monsters because of Calypso, and because, because he wasn't ferrying souls to the next world. He was imprisoning them on his ship, and obviously they fell out of love, and he, he was angry with her, and she was angry with him, and vice versa. But yeah, Will had it easy.
Yeah.
Had Davy Jones known about the Trident of Poseidon, he probably would have ended his own curse. But
This scene here is great. The destruction of the Endeavour.
that's when Beckett's like, "Oh, okay, that's it. I'm beaten now. There's no way I can survive this."
I love his death scene. I love Tom Hollander's performance. Like, I mean, he can't believe that he's been defeated.
It's just good business.
Yeah.
He looks like he's about to crack, to break down, but he just, he walks down the stairs and accepts it.
His death scene is powerful. Like all the destruction around him, and it's like he can't believe it. Like he's starstruck by the fact that he's gonna die. Like he's in some kind of world of his own when everyone around him is dying. Like he just can't believe it.
Yeah, like all the destruction around him, and he's just walking down slowly. I like that this is all in slow motion, and the music is powerful.
This is a really powerful scene. It's probably my favorite scene of the film. His death, like, it's just so well done. Like,
he's just walking into the destruction. I know he sort of burns as well, like he dies in the fire.
yeah, his death scene is like, wow.
And he ends up on his own flag.
Yeah.
But no, that is powerful, and I think the music for that was brilliant. And the fact that his crew would say, "Sir, what do you command?" And he's like, "It's just business." And then they're like, "Abandon ship, let's just get off." No.
He's become a pirate, like they become pirates now.
Yeah. Give me 10 bars.
those two pirates there, the other two,
Yeah.
what like happens to them?
Well, the one with the wooden eye and his friend.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like, apparently on Stranger Tides, Barbossa talks about how Blackbeard took the Black Pearl and stuck it in the bottle and killed some of the crew. But it is a bit inconsistent because the short one, Marty, he comes back in Salazar's Revenge. So yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I'm assuming they're dead in the fourth movie.
Mr. Gibbs.
Keith Richards looks really fucking ugly. Ugh.
Hooray!
I don't get
Gotta go and get it. Oh, God, this film does have a long ending.
Like Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Yeah.
Orders.
Although I prefer Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
No longer
Oh yeah, that film is flawless. I mean, this is a great.
Master- Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah, no, this is a great movie, and it is a great ending to the trilogy and to Gore Verbinski's movies. But obviously, the story will continue in 4 and 5. So.
Well, there they are, the star-crossed lovers. Oh,
we are purpose. Where we are bound. She cannot come. One day.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, it's part of the curse. He can't bring her on board. He's not allowed. He can only see her one day every 10 years.
that would be so shit, though. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, but it is stupid though. But he's you're bound by it. You know, you can't disobey your curse. It would be so easy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, why can't she come aboard? I just don't get it. Like,
Yeah. It is silly, to be honest. Goodbye, Poppet.
Muppet. I just love the way, like the pirates have won, so they just pretend to be pirates. Arr, yar! Like,
It never worked out between us.
keep doing yourself.
She does
I'm
like
sorry.
Jack. Deep down. Right, they're good friends.
I would have let fucking Elizabeth snog me.
Yeah.
I suppose after the event of the second film, he's like, no, I know what your kisses can do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I'm
like
surprised Elizabeth just didn't abandon
Jack.
Orlando Bloom for Jack,
Well,
since she only sees him once every 10 years.
I mean, that was the impression we got last time, but no. I think it's that part there was like, oh, it's all forgiven now. You know, everything's forgiven.
I like that shot of her leg. She's got a very sexy thigh, very sexy leg.
He's like caressing her
I
leg.
have to say she's fucking hot as hell. Jesus Christ.
She is. She hasn't aged a day, actually. You see her now, she looks exactly the same.
I would fuck the.
I bet you would.
But once every 10 years, though, like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, no offense, though, but like once every 10 years, like, she'll just be like, every time he met her, she'll be like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Like, by the time he gets to her 70s, he'll only spent in total 1 week with her. So what would be the point?
Yeah.
You know?
Plus, not to mention his kids as well. Or Henry.
He would only see his kids once every 10 years.
Well, I do love the music of this scene.
What would happen if? I'm just curious. What would happen if he just decided, "Fuck it, I'm staying with her for another day"? Like,
I
would
guess
he
he would
die
die.
or?
I guess he would die. Yeah. Don't know.
I just
The
find it
music
stupid.
is
Like,
so good.
I just find it stupid though. The whole trilogy's been building up to them getting together. It's like, oh yeah, once every 10 years.
Yeah, it's like, well, they got together, but at a cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think she'd find somebody else if she only gets to see him once every 10 years?
She loves
Like,
it. But I mean, would you agree that last scene with them is quite sweet, and you know the music actually really helps.
yeah, it is really good. Yeah.
The dinghy.
My vessel is fierce.
My vessel is magnificent and fierce and huge. And
Where's it
gone.
Where's it gone?
Where's it gone?
Barbossa's nicked it.
There it is. Why is it there?
Yes, there it is. Why is it there? That's not
I'm curious. How long is On Stranger Tides set after this? Because obviously Jack ends up with the dinghy, and then Barbossa joins the Navy after the Black Pearl gets destroyed and attacked. And then, you know, but then we get a scene at the end of the credits of this film with Will coming back to see Elizabeth and Henry 10 years after this. So is that 10-year scene before On Stranger Tides? Like, it's really confusing.
But no, I don't love you. Of course it makes you mad. I've never been to Brussels.
He gets slapped again.
By the way, no. And all of this pales to utter insignificance after the fact that my ship, once again,
You always have that slap gag.
Dun, 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 dun.
Take what you can.
Oh, God, this film is long. Woo! Getting bum numbed.
I'm surprised Gibbs didn't slap him.
Dun, 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 dun.
This On Stranger Tides must not be set that long after this film, since they're after the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah, but it's weird. And then we get that post-credit scene with Will and Elizabeth and Henry. It really confused me at points. But yeah, On Stranger Tides probably is set a few months after this. I think you can tell with On Stranger Tides that it's directed by someone else. You can tell immediately when it opens that it's different to the Gore Verbinski trilogy, I guess we have to call it.
Maybe it's set a few years after this film, since Barbossa loses the pearl and it's put in a bottle.
Maybe.
Because he has to join in as well.
We need to find a Pirates of the Caribbean timeline.
Yeah. There'll be some fan online who will be able to do to sing.
Sparrow. And this is finally we get to the last scene, which obviously leaves the door open for the fourth movie, On Stranger Tides, which did come 4 years after this. They had a bit of a break, getting this one together, because I think they were trying to see if Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley would be in it, but I don't think there was any need for them to be in it, really.
Yeah. If this was the last Pirates film, I think it would have been a good ending for the series.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they still left the door open for more sequels, so...
Yeah, we got 2 more out of it, so... And the 2 more we got were good, so... Yeah.
It kind of leaves you on the same way the first one opens, with Jack on a boat, small boat.
Yeah, I guess they thought if this is the end, then yeah, they tied it together. Woo! Bravo! Well done. Very good. Very good. I mean, that was long.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, that was a wee bit long, but overall, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoy At World's End. It's a ton of fun. It's epic. The story kind of gets more intense after the build-up from Dead Man's Chest, and if it would have been the last one, I agree, it would have been a nice wrap-up. It's not perfect. I mean, there are some like logistical things that don't make sense, some plot inconsistencies, especially regarding the Calypso Davy Jones story. The many things that Gore Verbinski doesn't explain, but it's a well-directed film. The action is fantastic. The music is to die for. Performances are all great. Well, aside from Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley, and some scenes could go on too long. I think the film is way too long. It could lose half an hour at least, but overall, it does. It keeps itself going, and I have fun with it. I mean, overall, I score it an 8 out of 10. I have tremendous fun with it. It's not my favorite of the series, but to me, it's better than the fourth movie.
Yeah, I mean, as for me, I probably agree with your rating. I mean, I do think there are a few problems. Like, I agree with you. I think the pacing is a bit too long. Like, I mean, it is, 2 hours, and 48 minutes, it's basically 3 hours, and you probably could have cut 20 minutes out of it. But I still think it's an enjoyable movie. I think it's a good wrap up to the trilogy. And I do like, I like the epic scale of it and the way it ties up the sort of original story. I mean, the 4 and 5 are kind of separate storylines, so that's nice. Like,
said, 5 does tie in with this, though.
Yeah, it does tie in, but like the whole Davy Jones thing and all that's wrapped up by this film. So, I mean, I think Beckett's a great villain. I think Jones is good here. Like, all of them get a lot to do in it. It's a pretty great film, but I mean, I do agree there are problems like the pacing and some of the plot inconsistency. So I'll probably give it an 8 out of 10 as well. So yes,
yeah, and just making Elizabeth the King of Pirates was totally the wrong decision.
Yeah, I agree. But
also, wasted characters, man. I mean, Chow Fat's character was wasted. James Norrington was wasted. Governor Swan was wasted. The list could go on, but I do agree about Beckett, and I do love his death scene. He's powerful, really powerful.
Yeah,
I actually appreciate Beckett a lot more now. I think you're right. In the second film, Davy Jones is the central villain, but in this film, it's Beckett, although Jones is still a presence in this film.
yeah. I mean, I just think Tom Hollander is great as Beckett. I mean, I've always thought he was a great villain just because it's just how. I mean, with Jones, he's kind of like, I'm Davy Jones. Do you fear death and all that? With Tom Hollander's Beckett, he's just kind of this calm sort of, psychopath, like this sort of quiet sort of psychopath. Like, he doesn't really raise his voice. He's very sinister in the role, and I think he works really well as a villain. And I think his death scene is powerful.
Opposites attract. They're two completely opposite personalities, but yeah, you're right. They work well together. Sorry, interrupting you.
No, it's all right. No, I think he's a great villain, and I think the film is a good send off to the trilogy. And I mean, we got 2 more after this. I mean, we had to wait a long time for On Stranger Tides for 4 years, and then we had to wait another 6 years until the 5th one. So
yeah,
I mean,
for me, the 4 years between this and On Stranger Tides, it didn't feel actually that long to me. But the wait between 4 and 5 was that was excruciating.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, 4 years wasn't too long, but 6 was, pushing it, and I think that's why it didn't do as well at the box office, and that's probably why they're ending it now. I mean, the series, Yeah, I mean, 14 years, 2003 to 2017, 14 years. That's long enough for a series, Like, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things to love about Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, in this one in particular as well, still, the visual effects are great. I mean, the final battle is incredible and it's epic beyond belief.
Yeah, agreed.
It's just that there's unnecessary padding in the first half of this movie. There's some scenes which you could probably lose, but overall, it doesn't sag too much. Once we get halfway through, it starts to pick up, but it is undeniably 20 minutes too long. There's just no way of getting around that.
Agreed, yeah. But I mean, apart from that, I still think it's a really good film. Yeah, and I mean, as for my ranking, I put it at third. I mean, I think I probably prefer Salazar's Revenge because it's shorter and, cuts more to the chase.
Yeah.
But I still like them both. I mean, I still rate them the same, so. Yeah. One thing I will say about the Pirates films, there's so many bloody people working on these films.
Yeah, I mean, they're expensive movies, and that shows, and there's a lot of spectacle you get from these movies, especially with the third one, especially with this one, because it's the longest as well. There's so much that they've chucked on the screen, but for me, it's worth it. I always enjoy watching this film, even if it is very long. It's still a joy to watch. But yeah, I think they've learnt their lesson not to make a Pirates movie nearly 3 hours again. I mean, for me, the first two got away with it. The first one being 2 hours 23 minutes, that was fine, even if it was a teeny bit long. But Dead Man's Chest as well, that was also a bit long, but it kind of gets away with it, just about, for me anyway. I know you found it too long, but this one, it was like, no, you kind of got to know your limits, really. But
Yeah.
4 and 5 are the right lengths for these movies. For me, just over 2 hours is fine. Like the fourth one being 2 hours 16, and then the fifth one being 2 hours 9 minutes. Fifth one is the shortest, surprisingly. I thought it was going to be longer.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I agree with you. I think 2 hours is like it's a good amount of runtime for a Pirates film. I think 2 hours, like 30, and 2 hours 40, you're kind of stretching it a bit. But I mean, they're still enjoyable films. All 5 of them. There's not really a stinker in them. Even the second one, which I'm not a huge fan of, I still enjoy it. It's still a good film. Like there's not a bad one in the series. I can watch them all and have enjoyment.
I think in a way that's pretty impressive as well. Oh. 10 years later. And this kid would turn out to be Henry Turner.
So would she So the day they went before the sunset, did he just fuck her and she became pregnant that day?
They must have done. Let's call it their honeymoon.
I bet he can't wait to have some more sex after 10 years.
Yeah. I think, actually, this scene would prelude the opening of Salazar's Revenge.
You're probably right, actually.
Maybe.
Although he's no born.
Oh, actually, yeah, no, you're right. Maybe not, actually, in that case. Oh, the timeline's very confusing. Well, at least he gets to see his son, every so often.
And his wife.
Yes, and his wife, of course. That usually helps. Who is still king of all pirates, for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, that is that. That is At World's End, the third movie. Oh, that was long, but we got there in the end, guys. And want to thank everybody for watching and listening and following along. Is there anything you want to say, Jack, before we call it a night?
Yeah, well, call it a morning now.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, I enjoy the film a lot. It's a good fun film. I mean, and I think it's a great wrap up to the original trilogy. So yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to say apart from drink up, my hearty, show ho.
Yeah. Well, that's that. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, once again, and stay tuned for another commentary. And until next time, I'm Ollie. This is Jack. See ya.